Hey guys, well last week I was out here bush hogging the field to get rid of the sunflowers. This week I'm going to disc it all in and plant some oats on there for some winter cover. The first thing I got to do is disc it up. So I've got my back of the tractor here. One thing you got to be careful of on these things, or be aware of, is be sure that the discs turn free. As I greased mine up last year before I put it away, so everything's turning free. If they don't turn free, it's just going to not disc properly. So I made sure they're turning free, and I'm going to get on to discing this field up. It's pretty thick with grass. I may have to go over it 2 times, but we'll see how it goes. I'll give you some progress reports along the way, and then once I get it disced up, we'll put the seeder on the back of the tractor and I'll seed some oats. That's kind of interesting, seed some wild oats. Anyway, we'll seed some oats out there and we'll have some winter ground cover. Well, you can see here I've just up the field. There's so much grass here, I think I may have to make a second pass. Hard to tell it's even been disced up. If you look over here to the right, you can see it's a little darker. I've turned over a little more dirt. I went over that 2 times. So I may have to go over the rest of the field a second time to get it turned in a little better to be ready for the seed. I think I may have to do it again here very shortly. Well, I went over it a second time here, and as you can see, it's disced up pretty well. The soil turned over pretty well now. It took 2 times to do it though. I guess there was just too much grass here. I should have done it probably a little sooner. But at any rate, I got it done. Turned the soil up pretty good. So I'll go back to the barn here and take the disc off and put the spreader on and throw out some seed here later. Well, here's my seeder. I went to hook it up the other evening to plant the seeds, and I hadn't used it, as it turned out, since 2005. I bought it in 2005, used it in 2005, and never used it again. So by that time, every control, every nut, everything had seized up on it. The PTO shaft was seized up in a collapsed position. I ended up having to cut the safety off of that so that I could put it in a press and pull it apart and then grease it up to get it working. The gearbox is a sealed gearbox. I was concerned that that was going to be a problem, but basically just the shaft going into it was seized up, so I freezed that up. The gate here that controls the amount of seed was frozen. I had to beat that out and sand it down to get the rust off and put a bunch of penetrating oil on that. And that's the shaft that was seized up that was causing the gearbox not to turn. See some leftover seed in there. But anyway, it took a couple hours and a little bit of labor to get that done and working. Interesting thing, this thing is a category 0 pin, and I have 2 sets of bushings on here. One that goes from a 0 to a 1, and my tractor is a category 2. Then I put another bushing on it to make it a 1 to a 2. I need to upsize those pins to make it work a little better. Maybe I'll turn something on the lathe and make me an adapter that's all one size. I've never seen a single bushing that went from a category 0 to a category 2. They may make one, but anyway, I used 2 bushings to put it on there. But it worked out very well. It's a broadcast type spreader. It spins around and throws it. You can adjust all the settings. It throws about maybe a 40-50 foot swath of seeds if you're running it at the right speed. Holds about 2 bushels worth of seed, which is more than enough for me. If I was a big farmer, that wouldn't work, but my little 2-acre patch works fine on that. So that's why I didn't get it seeded yesterday. I spent most of the evening working on this thing. So anyway, I'll seed it tomorrow. Well, I got it all seeded today. Had a little issue with my seeder last night. I'll show you that in a little bit. Got everything seeded. Put 4 bushels of oat seeds down. If you can see them down in here. See a few of them there that haven't been put down, packed in. But we got it all seeded. They should be up here in, I would say, a couple, 3 weeks. Give me a good ground cover for winter. After I seeded it, I went over it with a piece of equipment called a cull packer. This packs the seeds down into dirt when you just broadcast them. So that worked out very well. I borrowed a friend of mine's tractor here. I had it hooked up. So that worked out real well. It's loud. These things are just loose plates. And you have to wear hearing protection when you're running this thing because it clanks and clamors. It's very, very loud. So you just run over the field with that, and it pushes the seeds down in the dirt and keeps the birds from eating them. And hopefully everything will come up and give me a very nice ground cover for the winter. Thanks, guys. Hit like and subscribe if you like this.